Today I'm going to teach you how you can find materials around your house where you can upcycle a cover for your bullet journal to protect the book. Alright, so obviously the first thing you're going to need is a bullet journal, and then some sort of a paper, some washi tape or duct tape, scissors. Then you'll need a writing implement of your choice, such as a Sharpie or a pencil or anything else that you can use to trace your bullet journal. I have created a template for how to fold it and cut it out. I'm going to link it to a PDF in my Google Drive. You can look in the description below. If you're not sure how to do this based on the instructions in this video, you can use this template. This is my new Leuchtturm bullet journal that I talked about in several previous videos. As you can see, it's starting to get gunk on it like my previous one. So I decided I was going to go old school, like literally old school, and make a cover for this journal. So I have two pretty cool paper bags here, one from Trader Joe's and one from Big Bend National Park. So I think I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to make a cover for my bullet journal just like we used to do with our textbooks. So you can either use the template or the cutting instructions that I linked in the description, or what you can do is you can measure your own bullet journal and figure out based on that how much you need to cut. When I looked at this bag and I put my bullet journal up against it, all I needed to do was to cut the front of that bag out, and that was plenty of room for me to cover my bullet journal by coincidence. If you use other pieces of paper, you might have to cut it down smaller, or you might have to, if they're too small, you might have to cut them together. I have some suggestions for other paper to use later on in this video. So what you do if you don't want to measure, like I didn't really want to measure here, so what I did was I traced around my bullet journal so I could figure out how much space the journal was going to take up on the bag. And then I sort of very carefully flipped it over so I could get the full extent of the bullet journal on the bag. If you're really good at folding and you just want to eyeball it, or you're good at measuring, you can certainly do that. This is not a complicated cover. Now I'm going to go over the fold lines with a Sharpie just to make it easier to see, but I normally wouldn't do this because the pencil lines are easy enough to see when you're in person. But basically you're going to leave 2 inches above the top and bottom of the journal, and then 3 inches on either end to make this cover. And now you just fold along the top line that you made. So what you're going to do is you're going to make this cover just as tall as the bullet journal is. So you fold the top one over and then you fold the bottom one over. The next thing you're going to do is fold up each end on the line that you made. So as I said, you're going to have a 3-inch overlap on the ends of the journal, and then that size should be your overall cover. Then unfold it a little bit to test it and then tape it. Here I'm making sure to get the back cover in and that the back cover is, that I folded it correctly so the journal fits nicely in there. I'm putting the elastic around the back cover because I don't want the elastic to be pinching my cover down, as you can see that it's doing here. And I don't honestly really need the elastic, so it's no big deal for me. It might be more of a deal depending on how you use yours. And then grab your washi tape or your duct tape or whichever tape you decided to use. You could use plain old masking tape if you really wanted to, because this part of it is not going to be seen. So you tape down the top and bottom folds. So the next thing to do is to tape down the ends. And this tape is going to show, so pick something that either goes with the paper you chose or that you like the design, because this one is going to be visible from the outside. And you just, sorry this is off camera, you just tape over that end flap. Hopefully I got a better shot. Yeah. You tape over the end flap so that you're making a little pocket that you can insert the outer cover of the bullet journal into that pocket. And as you can see, this tape does show up. And now I made the tape too long, so I'm going to have to trim the ends. So now you're going to fold the other end down, making a pocket on the other end, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to sort of tape that upper edge. Hopefully you can see it better on this side than the other. I'm having washi tape issues here, which I have even more washi tape issues later on, and I'll explain that later in the video. So as you can see, it does sort of peek over the side when you put the washi tape on at this spot. Now you open the cover of your bullet journal. Well, I did a test to make sure it was going to fit correctly. That's what you just saw me doing, is to make sure that the bag would wrap all the way around the bullet journal. So then you slide one cover into the pocket in the front, and then you slide the other cover in. And I think I over taped at one point, so I had to pull the tape back a little bit or else it wasn't going to go in. Yeah, that's where I messed the washi tape up. So I had to pull it away to be able to get that back cover in. And as you can see, I can still make use of that pocket on the back cover of the bullet journal. Here's my final product. The Big Ben logo is showing the way I want it to, and my bullet journal is covered. If you don't have a bag you can use, here are some other ideas of things that you could use to cover your bullet journal. Maps. Especially cool maps with lots of advertising. That would make a cool cover. You could do a seasonal cover. Grab some cool wrapping paper and make a cover. Or scrapbook paper. You might have to glue these together, but that would make a cool bullet journal cover. Posters, although this one is another map, it's actually a poster though. So look around your house and find some paper that you're not using that would make a great upcycled bullet journal cover. So this is my final result. I ended up replacing the washi tape with this duct tape you see here because my washi tape wasn't very good quality and it wasn't sticking very well to the craft of the paper bag. I found this duct tape in a bucket of duct tape. I have no idea where it came from. I have 3 kids, so stuff shows up in my house and it just shows up. I don't know where it comes from. But anyway, I really like the duct tape. It has a dill pickle on it, so it's pretty cool. Here's an advantage of this type of cover. As you can see, I can take my bullet journal out of the pocket. I can take the cover completely off, and I have not done anything at all destructive to the bullet journal since I haven't taped it to anything. So if at a later date I wanted to get some sort of fancy cover on it, it's totally fine, and this hasn't hurt the bullet journal in the slightest. So that's it for this one. Hit like if you liked it, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell for notifications. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to explain anything that wasn't clear about this. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't be afraid to take that left. Bye! See you in the next video.